Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans. What we do around here, we dissect social and emotional and coaching related topics for you, hopefully on a daily basis now that we're in August. And we do that through an audio format. Please like, subscribe, comment below if there's something you'd like to hear us cover. We'll try and do that within a few days. And ultimately, we try to have a diverse amount of content for your benefit. So, I'm going to talk about something that I think applies to every person, and that is self-love. And what does it mean to have low self-love? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things I want to talk about in this audio. And there are signs that you may be dealing with low self-love or severe self-image challenges. The first one is, are you fake with people? Do you perform in social interactions? Or do you at least have some outlets where a few friendships, a few meaningful relationships, some mentorship or some family members, where you can be yourself? If you spend the majority of your social interactions performing, and I am a huge believer in the William Shakespeare comment that all life is a stage, and that most of us are just performing anyway, because there's so many social norms that we have to or need to uphold that most often we are not nearly as unique as we think. But if the majority of your social interactions are fake or planned and performed, then your love for yourself cannot be very high, and this is because how can you love a person that you're really not? And so who are you really? And the loss of your self-identity becomes more likely, especially if your performances go for months or years at a time. This will lead you to number 2, which is to pick yourself apart. If you are overly self-critical on a consistent basis, you can't love yourself completely. Self-criticism is helpful when you are using it to improve something about yourself and you're giving yourself a balanced criticism. But when you pick yourself apart and the majority of your concepts are negative and you're not seeing the positives or reinforcing the positives about yourself, you will eventually lessen your amount of self-love that is directed back towards yourself. And the next one is fearing judgment. Look, I talk about the 3 tribes, and one of the reasons I call the people on this channel the Progress Tribe is because progress is one of the few things in life that matters. As long as you're moving forward and you're not doing anybody any harm, keep going. If you're doing intentional harm, stop that behavior, reevaluate, and then keep going. But progress and love are 2 of the most powerful forces or energies in the entire universe, and if you live in the fear of judgment, it's hard to make progress. There are going to be a group of people in the world, no matter who you are, that will judge you. They do not get you. They do not like you. You cannot convert them. And we often, when I say we, I'm talking about society in general, spends far too much time trying to get those people to change their mind, change their perception, and it's wasted time because in a world full of 7 billion people, why waste time with the tribe that's never going to get you fully or never going to care? And that becomes a problem. So judgment is a part of social existence. You will be judged. You will be judged unfairly, and it's going to happen. Let it go and let it grow. So find other ways to use your time, use your energy, use your efforts, and reevaluate and recalibrate yourself rather than worrying about judgment that you can't prevent anyway. The next thing on the list is low self-care, whether that be overeating or using alcohol or drugs or not getting up and taking care of your daily needs, like getting dressed or leaving the house or finding work if you're working from home like the majority of the world is, finding a way to get your work done, and ultimately all that. If you're consistently in a place of low self-care, you've probably got at least some level of anxiety or depression or a combination of other challenges going on there. Now, that is not condemnation, it's just the fact that loss of self motivation means that there are some mental circuits short circuiting, and you might need a little bit of help to get back on track. The perception that you are less than others is also a problem. Lots of people put themselves into what I call the illusion of competition. The majority of people don't care what you're doing because they're worried about what you think they're doing. And so when we falsely compete with each other to look better, be better, I want this person, I want this relationship, I'm going to win, she's going to lose, I'm going to win, he's going to lose, I'm going to make more money and I'm going to win. All these perceptions that we're less than, there's always going to be someone with more than you. There's always going to be someone with less than you. Focus on the ways that you can make a difference and stop being so self-critical. Self-criticism ultimately leads to less self-love because if you're not reinforcing your positives, there's absolutely no benefit to continuing to go forward. Now, the next thing is your confidence level. If you do not have the fundamental belief that you are capable, all right, you are a cable. No, if you don't believe that you are capable of being valuable somewhere in your life to certain relationships, friendships, professionally, personally, even in hobbies, then you're going to love yourself less because if you believe that you don't have value, then what's the point of keeping going? So reestablishing what your value is to the world, whether it be every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, is a necessity for all of us, but especially more so for those who struggle with emotional or mental illness challenges, because you've got to make sure that you're reestablishing seeing yourself in a positive, progressive light. The next one is the habit of compliment seeking. So we all like compliments, right? Like nobody, or almost nobody, and doesn't want to hear that they look nice or that they've done a good job or that they're really smart or funny or whatever the case is. And especially when we're having a bad day or we're having trouble seeing ourselves in a positive light, a compliment can really change things. But if you need compliments every day, multiple times a day, or every week from the same people, and you're fishing for them, asking, do I look okay? Do I sound okay? And you're not going to improve yourself based on what somebody says. So you're only looking for the compliment part. You're not looking for the constructive criticism part. I remember when I was first in broadcasting, I would ask for validation that I did okay, hoping to get torn down, hoping to get criticized, so that I take the criticism and turn that into better performance for next time. But that's very rare because most people are so sensitive to what other people say that they don't look at it as that's just one person's opinion and I can take what I want from it, I can reject the rest of it, and a compliment is only worthwhile if it's spontaneous anyway. If you're fishing for it, then it loses some, if not all of its value, because it's not coming from a genuine place, it's coming from a reactive place. And so the next one is, do you have unstable relationships? Now, this often happens because we expect too much from our friends and partners. And that expectation usually is, I want you to be responsible for how I feel. And we often don't even realize that we've entered into those type of situations, scenarios, or relationships until a person says, you're too much. I can't do this anymore. I'm out. You expect too much. You want too much. You require too much time, effort, energy, attention, whatever it is. And if that's happening to you repeatedly, you think probably that you've got bad luck, when in reality, what you have is bad function in relationships, which can be changed, but you've got to change your core belief system first before the quality of your relationships will improve. So then the next and last one is you're willing to settle for less than you're worth and not keep working towards something. So it's perfectly okay when you're an 18-year-old person to settle for a job that's a little less than you want. That's okay. You're getting work experience. But if you're still there at 2021, you probably are settling for a job just to have one. Same for relationships. It's okay to take someone up on the invite for a date here and there, but if you're really not into the person, or they're not what you're looking for, or you don't have the same life goals, rather than just staying just to have a partner, it's time to move forward and align with more of what you're looking for and needing rather than just settling. And so settling is dangerous because it means you don't see your own value. And if you can't see it, why would and should anyone else? So I encourage you to think about self-love. If you need help in this area, I do coaching around it. Please feel free to seek me out on Twitter at PO Perception, or drop a message into the message box here on YouTube, and I'll get back to you within a couple of days. But until then, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.